Happy Friday, Wolfpack family. Thank you again for joining us. I'm Melanie Moskowitz. I am your PTO president, and I am here today to talk to you about who and what the third VP of programs does. So this year, currently, the VP of programs are going into our next school year is tentatively open. We have a wonderful person who is currently in that spot, but as some of us are working moms, work can get a little more time consuming. And so we're looking for someone that can help maybe take over that spot. So what does programs do? Well, as you can see below, there's a lot of open chairs, and a lot of the stuff with programs is once a year. So what does that look like? Spring Fling. That, I think, is one of our most exciting times. It's our Spring Carnival this year. It is coming up May 17th. I believe that's the right date, Friday. And maybe it's May 16th, but it's on the Friday. That is where we host a carnival for all of our students and our faculty and their families. It is not for profit. It is something that we budget into our PTO budget so that we can give back to the kids and let them have a fun time at a reasonable cost compared to going to the circus and things like that, where it can be very, very costly. So Spring Fling is coming up. That is once a year. However, it does take a lot to put it together. I would say the two individuals that have run Spring Fling in the past 4 to 5 years are working moms. So what does that mean? That means almost everything can be done from home. It can be done almost at all hours of the night or day or whatever works best for you. And then occasionally we do have to get together. So we'll find ourselves meeting right after GMS, sometimes the evenings or weekends, whatever works best for our group, so that we can plan for Spring Fling. Okay, so if you love to plan a big event and that big event is 90% baked, you just have to make sure that it actually happens, then that is a great position for you to be able to help us coordinate that. Holiday store, same thing. It is once a year. It's a week-long process. So we set it up on a Friday, and then it goes through that whole next week where the kids get to come in and they get to shop for their friends, their family, their teachers, all of that. It does take some time as far as being there that week. Now, there are always volunteers that are coming in and out and helping with the holiday store, but you are that point person who is ordering the supplies, making sure we're on top of it, working with our treasurer, and really making sure that the holiday store works very well. Again, we've had stay-at-home moms, we've had part-time, I should change that to parents. We've had stay-at-home parents, we've had part-time parents, we've had full-time parents do it. It just depends on what you're able to do. We've also had grandparents. So anybody that is involved with the school in any capacity, as long as you pass that volunteer background check, then you are able to help with these chaired positions as well as the VP. So holiday stores once a year. It's usually around the first week of December, sometimes the second week, just depending on timing. And so that does take somebody that can help us man that, and then you don't have to do anything else the rest of the year. School supply. That is going on right now. So our wonderful ladies that have been handling it for several years now, they are graduating out of Slaughter and going on to middle school. And so we do need help with school supply. So what does that look like? Similar to the others, it's not necessarily one time a year. It's at the very end of the year, and then it's at the very beginning of the year. So at the end of the year, you're going to get with your teachers, or usually your lead teacher and maybe Mr. D, maybe Miss Bird, to figure out what supplies the teachers are going to need, and then you get with the vendor of the school supplies, and we make sure that the prices fall in line to what we're able to afford within our community. Again, most of this is already baked and done. It's just tweaking some pieces. So a lot of it, actually, I would say, again, that 90% rule is done at home. Both of the ladies that do it are working parents, so they are not on campus doing this. The only time that they come on campus is at the beginning of the school year when those supplies are delivered. Now, sometimes somebody else on the board can help out with that. It doesn't have to be that person. So same thing, if you're able to do communications throughout the day, through email, through phone, then that is a great one, and one that we really need, especially since we're doing it right now. If that position interests you, we can get you connected with those ladies so you can start to shadow them this year. And then of course, we will help you transition into the beginning of the school year once everything has been pretty much done. It's just being delivered at that point. Okay, the next one that's under programs is Pancakes with Santa. Guess what? It's also one time a year. It is only in December. It usually falls the week after or the weekend after, drawing a blank on what it's called, the holiday store. So you would set up with, right now we do it through Applebee's. We would coordinate with our Santa, and the past 2 years we have had extra prizes, gifts that came to the students that pre-ordered. So if you wanted to do something like that, that gets part of it. So it's flyers that are done at home. People help distribute those if you're not able to. It's coordinating with Applebee's, which is done at home. And it is being there the day of the event, which again is going to be on a Saturday morning. You get there anywhere, I believe they get there anywhere between 7 and 8, and I think the event starts at 8. I'm drawing a blank on the exact times right now. And then it only goes till 10 o'clock because Applebee's has to open and get going. And so once it's done, and there's nothing else that you have to do. So that is one time a year where all the communication is done online, through the phone, through email, and then the day of the event. The other one, which is really minor, STAR snacks. So our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders are beginning to take STAR, and something that we help with is we purchase the snacks for the kids so that they have something, because they're not allowed to have a whole lot of stuff the day of STAR, and there's not supposed to be any visitors during that time. And so that individual just keeps us on track to make sure that we have what the class and the students are needing. Okay, last one is going to be Supply and Say Hi, which is SASH. So that individual is going to work very closely with me, but they're also going to make sure that anything that I've missed kind of helps me keep it all together. Supply and Say Hi is one day. It's just to make sure that that evening, again, in the event, it's a backup. So if I'm working, several of the other parents are working, we're on a vacation, anything like that, because it is during the summertime, that there is somebody there to keep it all together. So that one is a pretty easy task. It's just keeping us in line and in check on the night of Supply and Say Hi. So at Supply and Say Hi, we get out all of our PTO staff. We hand out the supplies. They're all delivered in the classrooms, which is usually already done. We're doing our spirit wear packs, and of course then we're just meeting new people that may want to be involved in the PTO in any way. So as you can see, this is just a way to let you know what all the PTO does and how you, your spouse, your partner, your grandparent, your parent, anybody that is involved in the children's lives, we just need help. So hopefully you enjoyed this little bit on the BP programs. If you have any questions, please let us know and we will reach out to you. And hopefully you enjoyed one of these and want to be a part of BP programs. All right, everybody have a fantastic weekend. Have a good one.